Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I'm so pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. Today, we're diving into a concept that's absolutely vital in an industry where every single detail matters, and that's the price. We're going to explore something called rate integrity. So let's get started. Let's really unpack this idea because it's a powerful one. You see, in luxury hospitality, a price is, well, it's never just a number, is it? It's a statement. It's a promise of quality, of consistency, of value. This quote right here, it really frames our entire discussion. It's asking us to treat price not just as a function, but as a core part of your brand's voice. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at price as a brand promise. Then we'll get into the high cost of inconsistency. After that, we'll talk strategies for rate discipline, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with how this builds enduring trust. Okay, let's jump right into our first section, price as a brand promise. So what is this thing we call rate integrity? Why is it, the very bedrock of a luxury brand's reputation? This is really where it all comes together: perception, emotion, and of course, financial strategy. So at its core, the definition is actually pretty straightforward. Rate integrity is just the practice of keeping your pricing consistent for the same product no matter where a customer finds it. So whether a guest is looking at your hotel's website, a big online travel agency, or booking through their corporate travel advisor, the price for that same room on that same night should be the same. Simple, right? But that consistency, that is the very first step in building a foundation of trust. And this really gets to the why of it all. Think about rate integrity as a sort of an invisible signal. When your guests see consistent pricing, it's not like they consciously think, wow, what excellent rate integrity. No, of course not. They feel it. They perceive your brand as professional, as organized, and as fair. It communicates a sense of confidence and, frankly, respect for them as a customer. Okay, so what happens when that signal gets distorted? What's the real cost of inconsistency? And let me tell you, it's not just about a few lost euros on a single booking. No, it's a direct hit to the trust you've worked so hard to build. Think about the guest's journey for a second. A luxury brand, its whole promise is a seamless, elegant experience, right? It promises confidence. But the moment a guest finds different prices for the exact same room, that journey starts with confusion. And confusion, it's the absolute enemy of luxury. It immediately plants this little seed of doubt, and it just starts to chip away at that feeling of prestige before the guest even steps foot through your doors. And you can see here how these consequences they snowball. It all starts with eroding that trust. Guests start to wonder, hey, did I get a fair price last time? Should I wait for a better deal to book next time? And here's the crucial part. Their whole mindset shifts. They stop dreaming about the experience, the beautiful suite, the impeccable service, and they start focusing on the transaction. Their relationship with your brand suddenly becomes financial, not emotional. And that's a dangerous place to be. All right, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. So how do we fix it? Well, protecting your brand requires a really disciplined, proactive framework. Let's dig into how you can take control of your pricing strategy and make absolutely sure it always reinforces that brand promise. This really demands a unified approach. Think of it as 4 key steps. It has to start at the top, with a really clear pricing philosophy from leadership. Then that philosophy has to be aligned across every department. We're talking sales, marketing, revenue, so that everyone is speaking the exact same language. Step 3 is about being relentless. You have to actively monitor all your channels to catch any discrepancies. And finally, it all comes together in how you communicate, confidently selling your value, not just your price. Now let's talk about distribution, because honestly, this is where rate integrity is so often lost. Look, those third-party platforms are essential for exposure, we all know that, but they have to be managed as strategic partners, not battlegrounds for discounts. The whole goal is to use them for their reach while you're actively auditing to make sure there are no discrepancies. And at the same time, you have to position your own website as the ultimate source of truth. That's how you build that direct, trusted relationship with your guest. And this brings us to a really critical choice you'll face all the time. Do you discount the price or do you add value? See, discounting might fill a room tonight, sure, but in the long run, it trains your guests to wait for deals and it just chips away at your prestige. But adding value, things like a complimentary transfer, a unique local experience, maybe a personalized welcome gift, that maintains your rate while making the guest stay even better. That's what builds loyalty. That's what reinforces your premium position. Okay, so let's start to bring all of this together. All these strategies we've talked about, the internal alignment, the channel management, the focus on adding value, they're all designed to achieve one primary long-term goal, and that is to build unbreakable trust with your guests. 100%. That's it. That's the goal. That's the level of consistency you should always be aiming for. Because every single time you maintain price integrity, you reinforce your guests' confidence. You're telling them, without saying a word, that your brand is credible, it's reliable, and that the value they're getting is absolutely fair. And you know what? That trust? It's the ultimate return on your investment. Trust is what turns a first-time guest into a lifelong advocate. It's what drives that repeat business, it's what powers positive word of mouth, and it's what transforms your customers into true ambassadors for your brand. At the end of the day, that operational discipline in your pricing, it directly fuels your long-term success. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Your brand's reputation is, without a doubt, its most valuable asset. As you step into your future leadership roles, I want you to ask yourselves, how will you protect it? How will you champion this principle to build a brand that truly stands for unwavering trust and excellence? Thank you for your time.